Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to Cocktails After Dark. Today we're going to do a cocktail out of this little red book called The ABC of Mixing Cocktails. This was written by Harry McElhone, a very famous bartender in his time period. He owned a number of bars, and when he wrote or compiled this, he owned a bar in Paris. And we're going to do something called the Golden Glow. Apparently it's a specialty of the New Hotel Jefferson in St. Louis, USA. Like most of these old cocktail books, you're always presented with a problem. And in this case, it's his directions and his measurements. The only direct measurement that he gives is that I'm supposed to use a teaspoon of sugar in each cocktail. Everything else is given in jiggers. And the more I say jigger, the more YouTube will demonetize this video. There's no real definition of what jigger is in this cocktail book. He doesn't mention the amount. And I know that today most people would say it's 1.5 ounces. Trader Vic in this 1946 book says 1.5 ounces. In this 1904 cocktail manual, it says 2 ounces. I have cocktail manuals from the late 1800s. They call it 1 ounce, 1.25 ounces. There's no real indication of what the actual size is. So you just sort of have to look at it and look at it as proportions rather than an actual size. So just for argument's sake, today I'm going to say a jigger is 1 ounce, just to be contrarian, and I've had a few cocktails already. I don't need a huge cocktail. So this is lemon juice, and then orange juice, and I'm going to swirl these to dissolve the sugar. Now I asked for a dash of Jamaican rum. This is a Navy strength traditional Jamaican rum. A dash, I'm going to say half a bar spoon is a dash. The second one I always spill. Okay, there we go. Now, as we always do on this show, we're going to make this with 2 different base alcohols, 2 different bourbons. I'm going to use, for no particular reason, Woodford Reserve, other than it was at the front of the cabinet. That one's going to get Woodford. And then again, for no particular reason, other than it was close to the front, Basil Hayden. That's going to go in this cocktail. And we're supposed to shake and then pour into a prepared cocktail glass with a blob of grenadine in the bottom. And I'm open to suggestions on what anyone thinks a blob is. I'm just going to do a bar spoon because that kind of seems like a blob to me. And a blob of grenadine in the bottom of that one. And then I'm going to ice and shake these one at a time. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Glenn. Hi, friends. Whew.
So, I give you a messy countertop.
Did he spill?
Of course, I spilled. When have I ever mixed a cocktail and not spilled
And
all
what
over the
did you,
counter?
we were discussing this earlier. So what did you decide a blob was going to be?
I did a bar spoon. I don't know.
You know when you... Although this one's mixed...
I don't know if that's right. And I mean, I did make these on the smaller side. Because if you are aware, many of you are aware, we'll shoot 5 or 6 of these in a row on a Saturday afternoon.
You may guess at which one's the 6th one.
I don't need a full-size cocktail for each one. Just get a taste, get an idea. Anyway, so this one is Woodford. Mm-hmm. That one's Basil.
Okay.
They both have that rum, and I'm going to taste that rum on its own later because give it a smell.
Wow, that's sweet. Like that's got a caramely, molassesy kind of... Like that definitely molasses.
Full-on molasses, yeah. Okay, so we're going to taste that. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Sure. That's a surprisingly sweet. I guess
Yeah.
the blob of grenadine.
You still get the tartness from the lemon. A little bit from the sugar, I would imagine.
Oh, there's sugar in it too.
There's a little bit of
okay.
sugar in it, yeah.
Oh my, yes.
Oh,
Very different.
completely different, aren't they?
Okay, but this one. Okay,
So-
if
so
I
there's-
swirl this one, do you think it'll change flavor? Because you still got your blob on the bottom there.
Yeah. So there's a couple of other things happening here. I know that some people notice that it looks like one of the glasses is filled more than the other. These are two different
glasses.
glasses. They're both Nick and Nora's, but they're from different manufacturers, and they've got a different shaped bowl. And so one will look like it's more full than the other, even when they've got
Okay,
the
I think I
same
need the
amount of
actual
stuff.
stirrer. Hey, look at that.
Oh, the blob didn't.
No,
Okay.
that's what I was trying to. My swirling skills did not allow the blob. This one, for some reason, the blob
I
of
think
grenadine seems to have been.
I think I poured a little more aggressively.
Not a big change, but it does add a little more. Takes the lemon. The bite of
ki-
the lemon is a little bit less. But this one is distinctly sweeter.
The basil. The Basil Hayden wins for me on that one.
I don't know. Let me try this one again.
If you're a fan of a lemony bite,
I think I prefer this one. I don't think I like the sweetness of that one. So
Okay.
for me, I like that one better, even though it's the same amount of sugar.
the lemony bite comes through more in this one. It's more of a sting. That one's a little more smooth, rounded. Okay, so this rum. I've never had this rum before. I bought this rum to use in a cocktail in the Trader Vic's book. So Navy Strength, 57% alcohol, which is 114. It's hot.
It's definitely.
It's hot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the alcohol definitely,
Yeah.
it starts to evaporate in your mouth. It is very sweet. Like I don't, it's not sweet, but
not
it's
sweet.
very.
You get that molasses and you associate the smell of molasses with sweet.
Yes.
So you get that
Spilling.
association.
Let me pour your.
That's definitely a mixing. And then now I've got blackstrap molasses on the back of my tongue. Not the sweetness, but that burny blackstrap molasses on the back of my tongue. Okay, so as always, at the end of our cocktail episodes, it always sort of breaks down into a bunch of different things all at once.
We have no idea.
This is a great cocktail. Different with each different bourbon, and every bourbon that you bring to the table will be different. Again, the rum adds just a little bit in the bottom. You don't get the molasses flavor coming through at all. And it's just a small little amount. And maybe a blob of grenadine is less than a teaspoon. I don't know.
I don't know. It is your adventure to go on.
Yes. Let us know down in the comments if you try it. What do you think of it? Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.